get it.
Yeah, and you got to be quick-witted and like, you know, all that improv training and, you know, being on set. I think a lot of the best people that are housewives were actors. I think Kyle and Lisa Rinna and Erika, and, you know, I miss, you know, the other Richard sisters, but I think in general, it really lends itself very well. It really does to reality because it's a performance. Yeah.
I always say that, like, you know, I loved Melrose Place. It was literally everything to me. And like, this is just the role that Rinna was meant to play. 100%. This is it.
There's nothing better. And she knows it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that that's why they're so protective of those opportunities, because Kathy Hilton or like Mary Cosby, they don't need the show. So like they can take it or leave it. The desperate ones, you know, where you can feel it emanating off of them, like Lisa Barlow, where like they would jump off the Golden Gate Bridge if they couldn't be on TV every week. They will fight and do whatever it takes to stay on that show. So for me, that is entertaining. That kind of desperation is fascinating to me.
It's fascinating, right? Because it's really like you just have to put this show above everything, whether you
and
think
you have to friendships, you have to start shit that you also will know that you have no control over finishing, you know. And I find that a lot of times it's Gladiator too. I mean, that's why I think a lot more straight people are starting to get on board with the Housewives, because they realize that it's like a sports game. I don't, you know, sports with players and teams, but like it's, you're in the arena and you're battling it out with rumors and comebacks and stuff. And that's just very primal. That's why the shows work the way they do when they're at their best.
Yeah.
Really.
And I think, because, you know, I talk to a lot of ex-housewives. Every time someone's a one season wonder, it's always the same story. It's always like, I came and it was like my real life. And I'm like, sweetie, nobody cares about your real life. Like,
no.
I love you. You're like, right. Like, you're a very nice human being. This is a compliment, but no, you have to really stick your head in the fire and know how to do that.
Except the insurrection and a couple of other things, you know. I feel like you have to, I mean, for Bravo, you have to be like just south of that. Like, you have to be a terrible person, but just beneath cancellation, where trolls or just the Twitter mob won't come after you, even when the Twitter mob is doing, you know, their due diligence. Yeah.
And you have to be like crazy, but not certifiably crazy that it's a diagnosis, because then you get canceled. These are the ones that
just south of the straitjacket, right? You have like Jen Shah. I would love to see her medicine cabinet, because I think she every day wakes up and just puts a bunch of pills in her hand and has no idea what they are and just picks 3 of them and just, we'll see how the day goes. That is literally the vibe that she puts out. And I am obsessed.
Are you like, what's your favorite franchise? Like, are you just loving Salt Lake? Like, what's your favorite?
Beverly Hills. I think Beverly Hills is my favorite overall, because I think the fact that the history of Hollywood and the money and the vistas just lends itself more, even though their style clothing wise can be just as hideous as the other people. RHONY was the best when it had Bethany, in my opinion, but ever since Bethany left for the second time, I think they got to start all over. I loved Leah in you know, running naked and throwing tiki torches in the pool, but she kind of, you know, really messed up that whole opportunity with season 2. And I think that it's just, they should start from square one, like, and just find younger women. I think maybe younger women who are desperate, who understand social media, who kind of have, who have that desperation and also understand. I think a lot of queens on Drag Race right now were raised on Drag Race. And so a lot of times, maybe sometimes not in the most interesting way, but sometimes in the best way, they know how to play for the cameras. They know how to make moments with their outfits and stuff. And I think that maybe younger people, I'm not ageist at all. I think Ramona and Luann and Sonia should be on every Ultimate Girls trip, add in like 4 for infinity. Just keep putting them in different resort destinations around the globe, making people cry. Like I just absolutely love that. But for RHONY itself, I think to have a chance, just hire all new people. It's New York City. Hire some bitchy gays too, because there are some married gays in New York who can start shit too. I think that I love that it's women in their 40s, and so maybe they should be in their early 40s and like they're like out for blood. I think that would be great.
And you like the idea of like a diverse, like bring some gay men on as actual
Yeah.
housewives.
Yeah, I think that it's really weird what's happening on Salt Lake City right now. That, you know, a Black housewife and a Vietnamese American housewife turned out to be incredibly racist, both on camera and off. And I think that there have to be, no matter who you choose, there have to be certain people that are crazy, but not like that hateful and that misguided. So you know, we just gotta dig a little deeper and search a little harder. And those crazy people that are great for entertainment, but actually aren't truly, you know, wrong-headed about, you know, like the Holocaust and stuff. I think that shouldn't be too tall of an order.
It shouldn't be. I'm so shocked at like even The Bachelor, like how we have these situations. You know, I don't know. Do we need to hire like 16-year-old hackers? Like someone, that's what I think. I think you need to hire really young
They might have
teenagers that,
yeah,
right. You might have found this, but
they
I don't
might
know.
have found them, but I think that there's certain things that I feel like every, you know, background check or whatever, I think I choose to believe that there are things that they do know and that they think will create moments. Like the firestorm that's happening on social media right now about Jennie or about Mary is good for the show because it means that everyone's talking about it. So in that respect, they kind of they can have it both ways. They can fire them as soon as people find out about it, you know, but in the meantime, they have great TV in store for people. So, you know, I have a problem with them getting a paycheck if they have these views or, you know, and I think that there's a possibility with certain people about their views. I think they've tried with Ramona a lot to do this, where they hopefully have the capacity to learn on camera. That would be really great, I think, for people to see. But for certain people, they are lost causes. So
are you shocked that Jennie's fired? I mean, because she's gone.
I was hoping, I didn't see all of the posts, but you know, I read about them and I saw a few and they were truly shocking. I do feel like there's something of value to keep someone on camera and answer for what they have endorsed, rather than banish them and sort of solidify their beliefs and give them a pathway to Fox News. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like and right now she's saying I'm a persecuted Republican. And that's just a song and dance that they know really well. And that sucks, you know, those snowflakes are turning this into a cottage industry of canceled people.